he wanted.
You hear the screech.
Welcome to the Saturday Morning Block Party Podcast. I'm your host Norbert, and today we're finishing up our two-part retrospective on Scooby Doo. Today we're going to be talking a lot about the live-action movies, the direct-to-DVD movies. We're going to be talking about a lot of dead people, and we're going to talk about how 3 goth girls can make our dreams come true. It's related to Scooby Doo, I promise. If you didn't listen to part 1, I suggest you go back and listen to it, but if you don't want to because of spoilers or whatever, don't worry, you don't have to listen to part 1 to understand this part. I'll see you guys again at the end of the episode, so enjoy. Yeah, the episode is Johnny is driving to his old aunt's house who lives in a creepy, spooky house on a hill, and his car breaks down, and then the mystery gang rolls up, and, you know, he asks them for a ride, and they just don't even acknowledge him. They just stare blankly at him while he's talking until he mentions that her house is a creepy castle. And, you know, they go, and it's your standard Scooby Doo episode, except with Johnny Bravo writing, and I really feel like it was. I haven't looked this up, but I'm sure that it was the writers of Johnny Bravo who did this episode, not the writers of Scooby Doo.
Yeah, because it felt like a parody. Like, it was all just kind of funny. Like, even towards the end, where, you know, they were just pulling off the masks, like, Don Knotts, Bigfoot, this guy.
Joe Barbera.
That was great. And it was just, because it felt like a parody. It felt like a parody, and then Johnny Bravo was just kind of reacting to the parody.
He and Velma run into each other, and their glasses are on the floor. Velma's like, my glasses, I can't see without my glasses. And then Johnny says, I can't be seen without my glasses.
And that, like, raises the question, what does Johnny look like? Maybe he doesn't have eyeballs. Maybe it's just two black circles, just like ever since that incident with the laser, he can never be seen without sunglasses ever again.
And remember that one scene where they're about to split up?
Oh yeah, and then Fred was all like, okay, it was like, okay, no, it was Daphne doing it. It was like, okay, you, Fred, okay, you and Scooby can check the upstairs. Me and Velma will check the downstairs. And then Fred's like, he's like, Daphne, and then Daphne's like, oh, actually, me and Fred will check the downstairs. You and Shaggy check the upstairs. And then it's all like, and then you know, it was intended that they were gonna frack.
I love how when Fred did it, they really fleshed it out. He was like, Daphne, and then they started playing this sexy music, and his eyes were going everywhere, like seductively. And then later, you see them together, and she jumps into his arms, and he winks at the camera.
Like, oh yeah, guys, I did it, guys. And then it's all, yeah, it was, like I said, this was basically just a parody, because the Scooby Doo writers, like, I don't, like, besides Mr. Incorporated, like, I don't think the Scooby make it this obvious. They're like, yeah, we're actually going to try to, they're like, okay, just a parody, and Johnny Bravo's going to react to the situation.
Yeah, Johnny Bravo's writers knew the score.
Yeah, and Scooby actually appeared in more Johnny Bravo things, like a Christmas episode. I'm pretty sure he appeared on. You remember that episode where it was like Johnny like knocked out Santa Claus, so he had to do his job for him, and then he gave Scooby like a box of Scooby snacks.
Scooby being in that, but it's been a long time since I saw that episode.
Yeah, like I think there was 2 Johnny Bravo Christmas episodes, and yeah, Scooby Doo appeared in a lot of cartoons. If you think about it,
I remember him in Billy and Mandy, the Keeper of the Reaper episode, when they were trying to show how scary and terrible a person Mandy was, and Scooby shows up. She makes me talk. What do you expect? I'm a freaking dog.
Yeah, like if you think about it, like Scooby is kind of a staple of Cartoon Network, because I remember back in the day they used to just constantly have marathons. Like, now back to the 24-hour Scooby Doo marathon on Cartoon Network, and it was like, oh, another one. Huh, who knew? And then like they just for some, like, and then for present day, now we're back to the present day marathon. Now the Halloween marathon, the Martin Luther King Day marathon. It's like, wow, it felt like for every holiday they had a Scooby-Doo marathon.
Speaking of marathons, I saw that Pan Pizza on Tumblr said that the 2 of you got together and calculated how long it would take to watch every Scooby-Doo TV show, special, and movie in a row.
And it was over a year. Yep. Year to do marathon. I can't wait. Like, that's going to be the best thing ever. Like, I really have every Scooby-Doo DVD, like home release DVD. And I mean, I remember when I first got most of them, I just marathoned all of it. And then just last year, I marathoned every movie for a top 10. And then I'm just like, wow, I have a lot of Scooby-Doo movies. Just like, do you think they'll ever like stop? Like the day Scooby Doo ends, like that'll be a big deal. Like someone's gonna like I can see now the headlines. Scooby Doo has ended. America in shambles. What will we do now without Scooby Doo?
I think that if they wouldn't end Scooby Doo for Mystery Inc., I don't think they're ever going to end it in the foreseeable future.
Yeah, I mean, it's timeless. Like every, it feels like every child, like the question is, which child doesn't know about Scooby Doo? Like, I'm not saying they have to see an episode, but I mean, it feels like Scooby Doo is pretty stapled in the history as a whole. Like, he was like, there's every generation has their own Scooby Doo interpretation. Every generation, like, and they will just keep showing it until maybe Scooby Doo that'll be the last thing on Earth, Scooby Doo, and that'll be the thing aliens find after thousands of years. Like, wow, the Scooby Doo guy must have been really important. Like, look at all the Scooby Doo stuff. Was he like one of the founding fathers of this land? Like,
these humans worshipped the Doo.
All hell the Doo.
All hell the Doo.
And then I get to see it now. Like, we're gonna have a monument.
You know what? That is going to be the episode title. All hell the Doo.
That was basically the ending of Mystery Incorporated. That was it. Scooby Doo is God.
Let's talk about the movies, the direct-to-DVD ones.
Now available on video. Scooby Doo on Zombie Island. It's Scooby Doo's first feature-length movie. Available only on video from Warner Brothers Family Entertainment.
Zombie Island is the one that sticks out to me the most, and it always did. A thing about Scooby Doo is that in the main shows, mostly besides a few TV shows like Mystery Inc. and 13 Ghosts, there were no real monsters or ghosts in Scooby Doo. It was always somebody in his suit. But in Zombie Island, I believe that was the first one, and in subsequent direct-to-DVD ones, monsters were actually real.
Yeah, that was a big deal because they were always like, okay, it was a guy in a mask, no biggie. But yeah, this time it was real. But when they were real, it like they didn't only say they're real, like they're still gonna be goofy. Nope, it was actually threatening that they were real. Because in Zombie, oh yeah, by the way, spoiler for Zombie Island and the movies. Zombies, like, they would be controlled by cat creatures, and like the cat creatures, they were creepy in himself. Like that was pretty hardcore right there. That was legitimate. I legitimately got scared, like rewatching it as a kid. I don't know why I wasn't scared. It's so scared of this as a kid, but like watching it as like a young adult now, I'm like, I was okay with this as a kid. Like it was just monsters. No big. No, this is a big. Because now I think because of Scooby Doo, I'm scared of going into bayous and swamps. Like that's legitimately creepy right there.
Yeah, these early Scooby Doo movies, they really were scary. And I remember in Zombie Island, I think that Fred wasn't convinced that zombies were real until he was holding the still biting head of a zombie in his hands. Just think about that.
It's the baker. It's the ferryman. It's real. Oh my God. That was when Fred, like, mystery solving is not for me anymore.
He lost his innocence.
I would have quit the team if I was like I would have looked like, whoa, it's real. Okay, goodbye, guys. Nope, I'm not helping. I'm getting on the ferry.
I'm out.
Bye.
Bye.
Screw this. I'm joining Buggy in a car. I'm going to join Speed Buggy in the gang. At least they're only concerned. Oh, we have to win the race, guys.
Another thing about the early movies, I don't know if it's the same about the newer ones, but at least the earlier ones, they had a lot more effort, a bigger budget, new character outfits, and I thought that was really awesome. Because you could visually see the rise in quality between the TV show and the movies.
Yeah, because I'm pretty sure these were the second. This is the second set of directed DVD movies. The first one's being Boo Brothers, Ghoul School, and the other Red Shirt Shaggy movie. And these ones were really. They look so good. Like even for now, like I hope some days I know Cyber Chase got a Blu-ray, but I mean I think some of these will look Blu-ray.
Because when I think of Scooby-Doo and Zombie Island, the first thing I think of is like really good shading, really good colors. And that's really saying something.
Yeah.
Your art is really good if the first thing that comes up when you mention the title is how good the art was.
Yeah, I really they just look so good. Like, and probably one of my like. I like how in each iteration they had different. They legitimately had different style. Like each like it just wasn't okay. It's Scooby Doo Island now. These are their costumes for Scooby Doo Island. Like that's, with the exception of Scooby, Shaggy, Velma, and just those three. Fred and Daphne, they had different outfits between the movies. The three Alien Invaders, Zombie Island, and Cyber Chase. Those were different costumes. Like I really enjoyed like because it felt what's the word satisfying when you would see like Daphne. Okay, in the Alien Invaders, that one took place in the desert, so it would make sense that Daphne and Velma, they're wearing like short sleeves and tank tops, because they won't. Of course, Velma won't be wearing a sweater in the desert. Like, yep, it made sense, and it made sense how Daphne wore kind of a more formal suit. And they went to Cyber Chase Land because she was visiting college. So I guess I assume that's where they got a little more adult. Like they were maybe in the early 20s.
Yeah,
by that point.
I don't remember which movie this was, but I know in one of them they actually had jobs because Scooby and Shaggy were airport security guards, and Velma owned a bookstore.
Yeah, that was Zombie Island. Yeah, that was like a sense of realism. Like you guys had I guess Mystery Solving didn't pay that much. They're like, hey, we just kind of got this. We got one of your cousins arrested. Like he could have killed you guys all, but can you like pay us? No, okay. So they just like, okay. Well, now we have to find jobs now. Sorry guys, like the mystery thing that's not working. So they were, and and I find it funny how like I don't know what's the opinion of this, but like did you feel like Daphne and Fred got the better deal? Like they got the better jobs.
What were their jobs?
Okay,
I don't remember.
Daphne was I don't remember. She was a talk show host. I forgot what Daphne's job.
Wow.
I think she was a talk. I think she was like a reporter of some sort. And then Fred was a cameraman. And then like, okay, Velma, she gets a job in the bookstore. Like, I don't know if that was her bookstore or she just applied for a job there, or if Shaggy and Scooby got airport security, like you could see which one of them like went farther in life. You could tell how much farther in life they went. I haven't
seen the movie in a long time, but I always got the impression that Velma owned a bookstore and she might have written quite a few of the books that they were selling there.
Yeah. Oh yeah. This also reminds me of one time I was on the bus and I saw outside the window a guy wearing a green shirt and he was bald and he had a goatee and I was like, and then I made my own backstory for him. I was like, wow, Shaggy got together. I guess he quit Mystery Inc. He put Scooby up for adoption and he started going to college because the guy was like carrying a book. It was funny. I was like, wow, but Shaggy got together. Good for him.
How do you feel about the newer Scooby Doo movies, the one that come out in the last few years? I think the most recent one I've seen was, I think it's called Scooby Doo and a Samurai Sword or something similar to that.
Oh, that was the most recent one you saw? Oh my God, you're late. That one was ancient. That came in 2009. That was old.
Wow.
The newest one that came out, the newest one was Frank and Creepy, and that one came out in this August. Actually, they're pretty good in my opinion. Like the newest ones, I thought the What's New Scooby Doo era was okay. Like I had problems with them, like Egyptian one. Where's My Mummy or something they call it. That one, here's my problem with that one. The build up was awesome. The whole story was until the ending. That sucked. But in my opinion, the Samurai Sword, all of it was stupid. But the ending was awesome.
The Samurai Sword was okay, I guess. But it had to me, it felt like it had a lot of big problems. Like one of them was the technobabble. Velma is just talking about, oh, my satellite interface and blah, blah, blah. Computer words that don't make sense.
Oh yeah, the classic nerd trope. It was like, okay, and I'm now reframing the satellite to pinpoint our location in English. I'm setting up the GPS. Oh, like it was just the classic nerd trope, like not giving her a character, just she's a nerd. Get it? Nerd.
Yeah, and also they took after the live action movies where Daphne took self-defense lessons for, I don't know, a year. But now in this movie, she's a world-class martial artist going to a tournament in Japan. Really?
Yeah, that was more like, I think that was more of a shadow. Like, she's not just a damsel. Like, she can take care of herself. Like, and just, yeah, it felt forced. That felt really forced. I kind of agree with that. That felt forced.
This was something that kind of bothered me when I did see the first live-action movies. Before that movie came out, did you ever get the impression that Daphne was just a damsel in distress?
No. I felt like she just it was more like she didn't do anything. That was the thing. She's kind of stood there and looked pretty. That was her thing.
But, you know, Shaggy and Scooby are just there to be comic relief and screw up Fred's plans.
Yeah, it was just more like, well, they didn't intentionally. They were just more like, you know, more like goofy, and they would accidentally mess it up, and then instead of Fred getting mad, he was like, "Oh, you shucks, you guys, you messed up my trap." Oh, and then Shaggy and Scooby would just get off scot-free, and then, you know, it was mostly Velma and Fred that did most of the work. That was their thing.
Yeah, they should become a duo and just leave everyone else.
Okay, we're starting our own. Okay, team meeting, guys. Daphne, you're hot. I love you, Daphne. But you're fired. I'm sorry. You don't do anything. You don't do anything, Daphne. You just don't do anything. And then Scooby, Shaggy, I love you guys. You guys were there for me at my worst, but you guys also don't do anything. And then that's why I think 13 Ghosts of Scooby Doo came into place, because that one in new Scooby Doo movies, and I mean one of those where it was just Scrappy, Daphne, Scooby, and Shaggy. That's why I think those exist. Like, okay, let's see how well they can do on just their own.
Yeah, I thought Scooby-Doo and the 13 Ghosts was really cool. I wish that I had watched it recently so I could talk about it, but because it seems like a really cool show, but it's been over a decade since I've seen an episode.
I don't really remember that show. Last time I remember, like, I didn't like it too much, but I don't remember. Like, I watched that show a couple years ago, but I don't know. I don't think I liked it, but because here's the thing. You would think, oh, 13 episodes, 13 ghosts? Come on, this is easy. The thing, the ghosts kept on getting released, so they had to catch them all again in every episode. It was like, oh, this episode we're gonna catch a ghost again. This ghost that we caught 5 episodes ago, we're gonna do it again.
All I remember is Red Shirt Shaggy, Shaggy's girlfriend and or sister, and Flim Flam, and Vincent Price. That's it. I mean, Vincent Van Gogh.
Wait, Shaggy's sister?
The thing is, in a puppet named Scooby Doo, Shaggy has a baby sister, and in Scooby Doo and the Reluctant Werewolf, he has a girlfriend, but the girlfriend's name is the same name as Shaggy's sister in a puppet named Scooby Doo. So that always messed me up.
You're completely right. Oh my God, Jay, you said the incest. You figured out the mystery. You figured out the mystery. Yep, it was Shaggy. Well, okay. Actually, I thought about that for a long time, thinking, here's the thing. There was actually an episode where they showed her sister, like, as an adult, and she was getting married or something.
Yeah.
And I guess she, like, I don't remember the episode, but she was an adult. But I think you're right. Like, but here's the thing. Maybe, like, Shaggy fell off the, like she fell off the grid, so Shaggy just didn't remember he had a sister, and his whole family had to cover it up. Like, what sister? What are you talking about? So it was like it never happened. Like, and besides, I don't think Puppet Named Scooby Doo is canon at all.
Yeah, and I really don't get how writers of Scooby-Doo and the Reluctant Werewolf could do that accidentally, because it's not like it's a common name. I don't remember what the name is, but it's not like Sally or anything.
I think it was Googie or something.
Yes.
It was like, well, it was the 90s, maybe it was really common back then. Oh, hey, it's Googie. Wait, which Googie? Googie Myers or Googie Johnson? Googie Johnson. Oh, okay. Oh, I thought you were talking about Googie Smith. Oh, yeah, she moved, man. It's like, oh. Yeah, maybe that was a common name back in the day. But here's the thing. I think, pretty sure Reluctant Werewolf came out first. That might have been just a tribute. That could have been just a cameo. Just like, hey, we got the same name.
If that's true, then that has the worst implications of any cameo ever.
You guys, like, you guys. And, oh yeah, and they were both blonde.
Yup.
Yeah, you figured out Shaggy's into incest, or Shaggy just couldn't know, or and also, like, we never see her. We never saw her ever again. Like, even in Mission Incorporated, they never saw her ever again. It was just more like, oh, Shaggy, you did. Oh, and you notice how his parents don't look the same at all, like in Mission Incorporated and Pup Named Scooby Doo.
Oh man, that's something I wanted to look up before this podcast, but I don't remember how his parents looked before.
Oh, I'm pretty sure I remember his dad was like a cop or something, but I don't think they ever showed his mom. Yeah, that was the thing. They never showed his mom, but I remember they did show his mom like once. But because I remember there was this episode about a policeman's ball. Yeah, I really enjoyed the continuity, just like finding all these flaws. Just like, yep, Yep. You guys mind explaining what was that about? And how did they get a working elevator to their treehouse? They somehow they get the machine. I don't know if it was Velma, but she a working elevator to a treehouse. That's amazing. Like, what grade were they in? Like, probably 10 or 11, in the series, in the pup named Scooby Doo. But
Yep.
how? Like, Velma was working on the quantum physics, but I think Velma, she looks like she was 5 in the series. She looks like she was like 5-ish.
Yeah, she looked like a baby.
She's like, I think she was canonly the youngest out of the Mystery Inc. group. She's the youngest one, canonly. Yeah, I remember that being because I remember they said it's comic book, or I don't know if it was just a regular book, and it would just show all the ages, and it revealed that Velma, she was 15.
Oh,
I think.
I know what you're talking about. I saw that too.
She was 15. She was the youngest one out of the group. I know, right?
But it makes sense
insane.
because she skipped a grade or whatever.
Yeah, because she's the smartest.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Someone we didn't talk about yet, the Hex Girls.
Zoinks! It's the witches!
Easy, guys. It's just the Hex Girls.
I'm gonna cast a spell on you. You're gonna do what I want you to. Mix it up here in my little bowl. Say a few words and you lose control. I'm a hex girl, and I'm gonna put a spell on you. I'm gonna put a spell on you. I'm a hex girl, and I'm gonna put a spell.
Oh yeah, I really enjoy them. I like how it's kind of like how they can stay consistent. Like, I think this Hanna-Barbera or the Scooby-Doo team just love them so much, and they keep putting them in just incarnations. And I love that. I just love how they keep appearing. But the one thing I just hate, they weren't in Scooby-Doo Stage Fright.
What was that?
That's one of the newer Scooby-Doo incarnations, direct to DVD movies.
Oh,
and it's about it's about talent. It's basically like America's Got Talent. They're doing America's Got Talent parody thing, and it was each member except Velma, they had their own talent thing. Like Velma and Daphne, they had a singing duo thing. Scooby and Shaggy, they were gonna juggle, or just do stunts or something. I don't remember, but I remember they had all these other acts. Just like they had a girl band and just another thing, but no Hex Girls. That would have been a perfect way to put the Hex Girls in there. But nope, they messed it up. But I think they should have their own shorts. I think the Hex Girls should have a spin-off of some sort of their own shorts or something.
What I want is a live in concert Hex Girls tribute.
Yeah, that'll be right next to the High Puffy on Yumi one.
Oh man, I was talking about this in the Pan interview. They're still touring, and the tour right now is called Swag Swag Swag.
Yes, perfect. Yep. That's going to be the tour of the century.
Yep. But I'm serious. If any of you in the audience are goth girl musicians, please do a live Hex Girls tribute show and invite us.
Yes. Yes, it'll invite me, XLR, Norbert, and Pan Pizza. We will be all there, and then Pan's gonna complain that it's Scooby related. But it's all good.
Man.
Yeah, you should hear Pan. He hates Scooby Doo for some reason.
More than he loves goth.
I think it's equal. I think it's on the same. Because I think it's on the same spectrum. Like, no, literally, anytime I'm talking to Pan, he's all like Scooby. Like, anytime I mention Scooby Doo, he's like he's with a throne. He's like a little kid.
Hi, Pan.
He's such a little kid.
Oh.
He's just like I hate Scooby Doo. He gets all grumpy about it, it's like, Scooby Doo, you didn't bring up that. Like, he's just all grumpy. He's like a little kid about it, but it's funny.
And something I just recently realized about the Hex Girls is that they were my very first experience with anything goth.
Really? I guess they were kind of goth. They sang about creepy stuff. Oh, I never got to this. In the movie, The Witches Ghost movie, I think they knew Fred and Daphne were just listening to them because they were like, hey, let's be extra creepy and just one moment. But okay, we're not creepy at it. I know it's just all an act and everything, but okay, let's be the most creepiest we can in this one moment just to spook them.
Yep. I'm not even super into goth stuff, but I still kind of feel like it was very important that my first exposure was the Hex Girls.
Yeah, I feel like they need to come back. I know, and it's funny And then some of the Scooby Doo soundtracks, I think the best example which is Ghosts. They actually have songs in there, not in the movies at all. It's so jarring. It's like, what? Like, how come these weren't in the movie or anything? Like, or in the credits? Like, it was just direct to album, I guess, songs. It was so jarring. I kind of want to do a video about Hex Girls, just a love for the Hex Girls.
While
or
we're on
something.
the topic of current characters across the franchise, do you know anything about Don Knotts and why he's in every single Scooby-Doo cartoon?
I guess it's more of a tribute to Scooby-Doo movies where they just had celebrities always on there, and then they were like, "Hey, let's Don Knotts, you're not doing anything. Get on here." He's in the video game Night of 100 Frights. He was a tutorial level. He was like, you can like, and he was an asshole the whole way through. He was calling Scooby a stupid dog. He was like, get over here, you stupid dog. You can jump. Get those Scooby snacks. He was just ordering Scooby around like, come on, do that. It was funny.
I just love how anyone maybe under 60 years old purely recognizes Don Knotts from his appearances in Scooby-Doo.
Yeah, like, okay, do you know who this man is? No, Don Knotts. Like, oh yeah, he was in Scooby-Doo. No. Yeah, whatever happened to Don Knotts? Like, is he still alive?
No idea.
Is he still alive? Like, it's just like, we haven't seen him since Scooby-Doo.
He was in Mystery Well, I don't remember if he voiced himself in Mystery Incorporated, but there was definitely his character in Mystery Incorporated, Don Knotts.
Christopher Walken was in Mystery Incorporated.
Yeah, that was funny.
Yeah, that was great. Christopher Walken I love that. That was awesome. I think Don Knotts be dead. And the only thing we remember him by is Scooby-Doo appearance.
That is the greatest legacy ever.
Like, yeah, he's dead. He died on February 24th, 2006. So that's
rest in peace, great Knotts.
So of course he rest in peace. And then guess who went to his funeral? Frank Welker and Casey Kasem. And they spoke it, and they spoke in Scooby and Shaggy voices.
What's wrong? We didn't break any law, did we, Dawn?
No, but you did forget something.
Scooby!
Now, how could we have left him behind?
I know just how Scooby feels. It isn't easy to say goodbye to your hero. Cut it out, son.
Speaking of people, Vincent Van Ghoul. That's another great one that I'm really glad they brought back in Mystery Incorporated. Yeah, and I love how
awesome.
They gave him a personality. I was
wondering if they were going to reference...
Oh, yeah. I don't think they did, but, I only watched the episodes once.
Yeah, I think I watched it twice, like, because I saw it on Netflix, and I was like, hey, there's a couple of episodes I haven't seen from season 1 on here, and then I just kind of ended up watching the whole thing, and then I was like, hey, I wonder if season 2 came out. I was like, oh my god, season 2 did come out, so I just watched the rest.
And for anyone in the audience who doesn't know who Vincent Van Ghoul is, he's the Scooby-Doo universe's version of real-life actor and old-style horror movie icon Vincent Price. And if you don't know who Vincent Price is, he's the laugh at the end of... he's the narrator for Michael Jackson's Thriller.
This is a warning to all living mortals that whosoever opens this chest of demons will release 13 of the most terrifying ghosts upon the face of the earth. Only you can return the demons to the chest. Why us? Because you let them out. The 13 Ghosts of Scooby-Doo.
Yeah. He's kind of like a horror icon person. Like if you're in a classic horror movie, you don't know who he is.
Yeah. And I like the personality they gave him in Mystery Incorporated because I was kind of afraid they'd make him seem like an exploitative, fame-hungry, washed-out celebrity. But, in the episode when they introduced him, Scooby and Shaggy got invited to dinner at his house for winning a contest that they were the only entrants in, and the dinner was actually part of Vincent Van Ghoul's attempt at a new reality show. And this is the part where you start thinking, oh no, he's actually trying to exploit Scooby and Shaggy. But no, he's not trying to exploit them. Sure, he's using this dinner for his reality show pilot episode, but he genuinely appreciates Scooby and Shaggy, and yes, he's trying to scare them, but he's doing it partially to entertain them. So he's really a good guy.
Yeah, he didn't come off as a jerk. It was more like he wanted his fame back in a way, but I guess he saw the decline in his popularity but he was just more happy that he had fans, that he had some fans, more or less than none fans.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'll be Pan Pizza in a few years. inviting people over, and then you see it like he's gonna be at his he's gonna be at the dinner table. Hey, you guys remember Loki RL? And then people dressed up as Loki RL characters are gonna come out, and it's like, man, what happened?
I can see the invitations he writes out. Please dress as Raven.
If you're a goth girl, like, can you please dress as Raven? If you're not, can you dress up as Raven anyway? Like, it's as a consolation.
He's gonna kill us.
Yeah, he's crazy. Like, don't worry about it. He's like, whatever. And that's what. No, I can see you now. Whatever. That's him.
We love you, Pan.
We love you, Pan. Even though we're talking about the thing you hate the most. Scooby Doo.
Do you have any more thoughts on Scooby Doo?
All I can say is I get asked this question a lot. Do I think is there too many direct to DVD movies? Yes, I do. But I have no room to complain if they're getting good. Like, if they were just sucking, I'd be like, yes, stop them. But yes, there's too many, but they're good. Like, it's good entertainment. And I generally think like they want to put a nail in Scooby-Doo, but I guess they're like, they have a good attitude about it. They're like, hey, if we're going to keep making them, why isn't it making good and darker as progressively getting more darker? It's really amazing to see the progression.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen a bad Scooby-Doo direct-to-DVD movie, but I don't expect that a bad Scooby-Doo movie direct-to-DVD exists. But, really the only ones that really stick out in my memory as an 18-year-old are The Witch's Ghost, Alien Invaders, and Zombie Island. Everything else is just kind of,
they're on.
Yeah.
You might as well. Yeah, I remember I got a request to make a 10 Scooby list, and I was like, that's like kind of beating up a homeless person. Like, I don't think I want to talk about the worst of Scooby Doo. Yeah,
and really, it wouldn't really make a good video if the very worst is just mediocre.
Yeah. Like I said, probably the worst Scooby Doo movie ever is it mediocre at best. Like, it's not the best. Like, it's not like there's not really a bad one. It's just they're just kind of meh. Like you said, Scooby Doo, Zombie Island, Alien Invaders, Cyber Chase are the best ones, and they're just really like they're good. And like anything else is going to be a step down from that. Probably, I have to say probably my least favorite is Monster Mexico.
Yeah, I kind of remember that. Yeah.
Yeah, I had a bad experience with that movie, like, because I remember one of my family members ordered it for me for like a gift, and it like took 10 billion years to like get there. And then I remember just seeing it like at Target, and I was like, why don't I just buy it here? And then I got a copy. I had 2 copies. But here's the cool thing about like one of them. I get to like there was like different previews on them, and then so I watched, and then I figured out Legend of the Vampire. Like, oh my god, I have to get this now. It's like finding a lost ark. It's like, oh my god, there's something else. There's different previews, so I can watch like another Scooby Doo movie, because this was before I figured out the internet, and I could like just go like, oh, a new Scooby Doo movie's coming out. Nope, it was just more like, this is amazing. And it was in the middle of the night. I was watching midnight, so I woke my parents up. I was like, new Scooby Doo, we have to get it now. And I got yelled at it. I was like, I don't care, it's a new Scooby Doo movie. Oh yeah, and the live action movie. I remember hearing about that I think it was the radio I heard that on. I heard it on the radio with my parents, and I said, we have to see that. We have to see it. No question. We have to see it.
From Warner Brothers Pictures,
Mystery Inc. reunites.
Scooby and his crew are back on the case.
Run! I'm trying, buddy.
And now, on an island of mystery.
Welcome to Spooky Island.
They have
Monster! The monster?
no clue.
We're here to solve a mystery.
And they tried with the live action movies. I guess there's a lot of stuff that they tried but really didn't work out. And I wouldn't say avoid them, but and you're not missing out if you avoid them. And, this is for the theatrical ones. I haven't seen the Cartoon Network one.
Oh, the Cartoon Network ones, they're nothing to rant and rave about. They're pretty boring and kind of dumb.
Yeah.
Yeah, the live action ones, here's my personal opinion on it. The first one felt like had a more mean-spirited tone, but for some reason that's a classic one people like to make fun of. But I thought the second one was a lot better because the second one actually felt like the cartoon a little bit.
Yeah, I just, I kind of just felt like in the second one, maybe the first one too, that they were just too old for how they were being portrayed, because you could do a Scooby Doo movie where the gang is in their mid to late 20s, but I don't know, it just seemed like the way they acted, the way they behaved and the way they dressed and they talked, it didn't match up with how old they looked.
Yeah, it felt like they were just trying too hard to be like hip for the kids, just like they had stars like Freddie Prinze Jr., Michelle Gellar, Matthew Lillard, which he did an awesome Shaggy, so I can't complain about that. He did so good, I guess, the Shaggy. He voiced Shaggy Mystery Incorporated and all the rest of the new Scooby-Doo movies.
Oh, and speaking of that, rest in peace, original voice of Shaggy.
Casey Kasem.
Yeah, he died recently.
Yeah, he died just this summer, I think. In July, I think.
Yeah, rest in peace. Thanks for all the decades of Shaggy.
Yeah, they were replaced by a younger version, but it's okay. But he even like declined to be in Shaggy. He's like, I'm not doing Shaggy anymore.
I'll be his dad.
Yeah, that was his dad. That was really clever though. That was nice and clever. I like that.
Yeah, and the new voice actor did a really, really good job. I applaud him for that. I can hardly tell the difference.
Yeah, and in my opinion, I think he did the best. He did the best live action job. I think he was the best actor next to Scooby, but he was just CG. So yeah.
Maybe the worst part about the live action Scooby Doo movies is, Velma, but I already talked about that.
Yeah, she just kind of felt eh. And then I didn't like Daphne's dynamic. It always felt like they were trying to get together. The movie would forget they're trying to get together, and it's like, okay, I guess you guys don't have to get together. Like, and then until the very end, okay, you guys are together now.
Oh yeah, and also Fred is a jerk.
Oh yeah, he was not that nice in the movies.
I vote this worst version of Fred also.
Yeah, that was he was just a jerk. Yeah, he always had a kind of a he felt like he had a thing, was it a power struggle, and to be the team daddy, and he always like kind of put Shaggy and Scooby in their place. They're like, you guys are messing up, you guys gotta stop acting like this, you gotta be real detectives. And he was just being a jerk to Scooby and Shaggy.
Yeah, now that I think about it, I think the movies had the worst version of every single character.
Except Shaggy, in my opinion. Like,
yeah, but
it wasn't the best, but it certainly wasn't.
Well, what do you think was a worst portrayal?
Probably that. I agree. Like I said, it wasn't the best. It's like, I don't think Shaggy has ever had a bad of himself. That's the thing.
I think that Shaggy and Scooby were the best in the live action movies, but their attitudes and behavior border towards annoying, where in the other shows and movies, they really don't. So, yeah.
In the other stuff, it was really charming, because it portrayed the innocent act of the mystery solved, and like they were the realistic part. It was more like, yeah, these are monsters. Like, you guys are all trying to catch them. We're away from them.
Yeah, but in the movie, it just feels like, come on, you're a grown man. Stop that farting. Stop eating this dog food. Yeah.
It was like, I think even in the Cartoon Network, they're kind of kids still, so they can get away with being goofy. But it's just more like a lot of things felt forced in those movies. Like, it wasn't to the point of funny.
Yeah,
like, it felt forced. Like, it was all like, Shaggy and Velma are going to go out, and we're going to try super hard to make them go out, like, even though, like, both of them are uninterested in each other. But, yeah, it felt like that. It was like, yeah, that's not, like, it didn't feel fair.
Is near, and it's your worst fear.
I'm actually pretty proud of this episode went. We answered the big questions, like, what does incest have to do with Scooby-Doo? I'm sure that a lot of these quotes will be taken out of context in order to try to ruin my life, but I don't care, it's worth it. I also want to take out a minute to dedicate this episode to all the people who have worked on Scooby-Doo, alive or dead. Rest in peace, you guys are great. Thank you. Again, my guest co-host is XLR. He makes YouTube videos on cartoons. I'll have the links to his channel and all of his social media in the description. And that pan pizza guy we were talking about, if you don't know who he is, I actually did an interview with him a few episodes back. I will give you a link to that. It's a really good episode, one of my favorites. And by a great coincidence, a really good podcast called The Cartoon Kids decided to come back from the dead, and they recently released a Scooby Doo episode. So I want you to go listen to that. I'll put that in the description also. Remember, we are the Saturday Morning Block Party Podcast. Please subscribe to us on iTunes, YouTube, Stitcher, whatever. We really appreciate you. If you leave us a review on iTunes, we will read it on the air. I really want you guys to write reviews and rate us on iTunes because it really helps the show. It helps us attract sponsors, attract bigger audiences, attract networks. We really appreciate it if you take a minute out of your time to rate us. You can find us on Facebook, on Twitter, and on Tumblr, where we are the most active. We've also got a brand new website, SaturdayMorningBlockParty.com. You can go there and find everything you need to see. And if you're interested in listening to me talk about the massively overhyped Simpsons season premiere, check out Simpsons Talk. I guest starred on one of their... I'm not a star. I guest hosted on one of their episodes, and the host of Simpsons Talk will actually be helping me talk about the Treehouse of Horror episodes next week. So go check them out. You can see my face. Thanks for listening. We'll see you next time.